Good morning, I'm Manappallil. We have with us today Mr. Abraham Vargas. He has been in the UK for 45 years, during which time he also practiced as a barrister in London. Sir,
Yes.
is there importance in the study of history?
Oh, if that is the question, the immediate answer is yes.
Okay.
Who are we now? We are as a result of history. What do we know about ourselves? It is what there has been in history. What do we know about our culture, our nation, our color, our religion, our habits, our ways of life, if it is not for history? History is essential, and it is the basis upon which you stand firm in your conviction, in your concept, in your self-belief and confidence,
Okay.
because that is who you are. You do not need to be ashamed of whoever you are, but it is of substantive importance to know your own history well and to know the truth of it. It is so important that it teaches us so many lessons that are still applicable in today's life and will be applicable in the future.
Okay.
We are only now, after 75 years of independence, beginning to extract more and more of our learning from the old scriptures, of our ways of life, and understanding ourselves better and our forebears. You see, when we begin to know them, we begin to understand ourselves also. And when we begin to understand ourselves, that awakening helps us to understand life a bit better and to make our children understand us better. So they don't have to feel that, oh, my father is poor and he's an Indian, and so therefore they should be ashamed of it. No. No, we'll be poor one day. There'll be a time when they'll come back. Okay? Everybody goes through a cycle. These are all teachings of our forebears. And this is the cyclical process of life that they have actually developed and have told us about. But the question of belief, what you want to believe, is up to you.
Okay.
Okay? And history has been very badly abused by foreigners who've come into our country in order to upset and destabilize our minds. They have given us a concoction of lies, and because they were victorious in actually taking over our country and we were divided, what they wrote, they said, was the actual truth. And they brought in people such as Max Muller, Lord Colwell, Lord Risley, and others from Europe to split the system in India, creating thereby the concept of Aryan, which does not exist, the concept of Dravidian, which does not exist, and the caste system, which is not also correct. Okay? It is not true. Right? And this is being explained through our history books now. The new history books will also tell us the real divisions, if there are of any value, that exist in our society.
Okay.
Well, if you want to make an easy comparison, because when you go abroad, or some people will say, oh, you belong, which caste do you belong to? Where their ignorance is beyond belief anyway. Okay? And so you can just as well say, which class do you belong to? They also have a class system. They have a state class system, though of course they have accepted each other a lot more. Whereas we are still under the influence of the British, making us think about these divisions as divisions that persisted throughout our history, which is not the case.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, sir. What do you think about people wishing to migrate from their native land?
Well, migration is something that has happened over many, many centuries. There are many reasons why they happen. And in our case, for example, India, it is primarily the unemployment situation in India and the lack of certain facilities to promote their skills in science and other such skills that they go abroad. Now, provided that is the case, it should not be converted into a case of bringing back an influence that is Western. What they have learned, they have learned. That is what we want to be brought back. But many of them, when they go abroad, they have had the advantage of what skills we have taught them. They have spent the money that their parents have created for their education. And because sadly, India cannot accommodate them to the extent that they come out of universities and are seeking jobs, and this is a temporary position, it will take some time, okay? They need to go abroad, which is justifiable. And once they have children, the sad thing is the children feel deeply attached to that land, and the parents do not feel like leaving the children behind and coming back to India. And so they settle over there and belong to part of the diaspora.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Thank you, sir.